Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush has just made Yu-Gi-Oh! History, being the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! That is an interquel. Now, I'm sure most of you are saying, alright, is that even a real word? Yes, I will admit, I did not know this was a word until a few days ago, but an interquel is basically a story that acts as both a prequel and a sequel at the same time, and based on the events that just happened at the end of episode 61 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, we know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is a prequel to Sevens while also being a sequel. So let me explain. When Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush was first announced, there was a crazy amount of speculation and discussion as to whether this show was going to be in the future of Sevens, or in the past of Sevens, or maybe just an AU of Sevens. I always thought that it was going to be a sequel because we were getting characters as info was trickling out about this show that looked like older versions of the characters that we had seen in Sevens, a la Sushiko and Galliant. Well, we weren't getting the names of these characters, and some people pointed out that these characters' physical descriptions didn't match up perfectly with the ones we got in Sevens. For instance, Sushiko's mole or freckle is on the wrong side of her face when comparing the early Go Rush character render versus her Sevens character, and that is a pretty big deal. Moles usually don't jump from one side of your face to the other as you get up in age, and so people were kind of using arguments like that to say that maybe this was a prequel or an AU. And AU seemed to be the route that a lot of people were believing, and then of course you had a good amount of people also believing that it was a sequel. Well, when Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush first started, we very quickly realized that this could not be in the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens because it seemed Rush Duels had not been around for too long, and there were no direct references to the events that actually happened in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. And so many people at that point started to turn to the AU theory that maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush took place in an alternate dimension from Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, and that's why you had the counterparts, and there didn't need to be a direct tie-in between the two shows. Well, enter Goha Yuna, recognizing Yugioh's dual disc, and enter an episode where we learned that Yugioh received a dual disc from a character that looked very similar to Yuga, or the Yuga Man persona that he played in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. As more time passed, we realized that this character, a character that everyone referred to as that guy until episode 60, was our Yuga, and we even saw the exact moment that he was teleported here via the hyperspace that he went into in episode 92. And so, with Yuga and everyone confirming that he was in a distant future to Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush and the events that were going on in Go Rush, we learned that Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush was actually in the past of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Now, we're not sure how many years. Could be 50, could be 100, could be 500. We really have no idea, but we do know that Go Rush takes place in the past before the characters from Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens are even born or alive. But here's where things get tricky. In Season 2, enter the Ryugu brothers, Phaser and Tremolo. Now, through duels, they defeated Yuga, Uemu, and Yuhi. And with all three Odo characters carded, episode 61 was focused on the carding world, where we learn that once you're carded, at least in this universe, you get turned into a cat, and you're in this really weird, trippy, maze-like dimension world. Well, as you're entering these doors and getting teleported into different rooms, Yuga decided to duel Yuhi, and in that duel, use a field spell. This somehow caused the dimension that they were in to really severely glitch out, and Uemu, Yuga, and Yuhi, as cats, are transported into a different type of world, a world that seems breathing and alive versus the dimensions that they were stuck in when they were carded, and this world is none other than Goha City in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. And if you want to know at what time period these characters go back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, we see the same rocket that is descending to Earth at the end of episode 92 Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s in the Go Rush episode 62 preview. So we are literally picking up right where Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s left off, making Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush a sequel to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s while it also acts as a prequel. And so Go Rush is our first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! Interquel, which is awesome. I don't know what's going to happen from here. Things are certainly going to get very weird and very trippy, especially if you remember at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, Rush Duels came back online because we assumed that Yuga in this rocket ship had just entered the stratosphere, and because Yuga came back, all the Rush Duels servers came back online. Well, Cat Yuga, as we learn in this episode of Go Rush, does come back into the city, which begs the question, who the hell is that guy in the ship? I'm going to have another discussion video on that probably in a couple of days. But man, oh man, Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is taking us to a place that I did not think we were going to go. It is literally a prequel and a sequel at the same time. And I am sure things are going to get really, really weird and very cool in the next few weeks. Let me know your thoughts on all of this down below. Let me know any theories you may have, and let me know ultimately where you think this show is going to take us. I want to thank all of you so much for watching. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Goosey Q and Panther J, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, and Elaine, and to my Egyptian God tier patron, Pink Penguin. Be sure to check out my Patreon for additional channel perks. Thank you to everybody who is a patron or channel member. You guys help me out tremendously. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out my channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime content, and I hope you have an amazing day.